Welcome back to Spider-Man Miles Morales right here at Comicstorian. My name is Benny and we do dramatic readings of your favorite comic books, almost like an audio drama. When we last left off, Miles had worked with Rhino and Captain America and set up his new status quo here in the comic books, as this is the current running series as of 2020. Now it's time for us to move into his second adventure as we establish more supporting characters. I hope you're excited about it because I know I enjoy it, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. The next day, Vice Principal Dutcher sits in his office staring at Miles Morales' school profile, stating that he can feel it. Miles Morales is hiding something, and now he knows what it is. He knows his secret. The odd pattern of tardies, the frequent trips off campus. Miles Morales is skipping school. Over in the dorms, Miles' friend Judge says that he has something that they can't miss out on. Today is the last day of the museum showing. Hip-hop artist's original notebook pages. We have to go. But there's only one problem. We have school. Genki asks if they can keep it down. His earache is killing him, and Judge says that he has an idea. How about they just don't go to school? Genki is sick and they can play it off that way. What if they all got sick? Genki says that he just has an ear infection. It's not even contagious. And Miles says that he isn't so sure, but that's when his phone goes off with a message from Barbara stating that she is going, and so he decides, based on the fact that the girl that he likes is going, that he's earned a day off of school, right? So Miles, Barbara, and Judge all head to the subway to get across town when Barbara says that she wants Miles to listen to something. She hands him an earbud and he puts it in his ear and says, "Wait a minute, is that you? It sounds amazing." She blushes, telling him, "Yeah, maybe sometime she can." But as Barbara leans in for a kiss, Miles' spider sense goes off and suddenly the train hits something and it begins to get derailed. Miles jolts forward with a sigh, stating that he is getting pushed to the middle car. Barbara tries to grab onto him, but Miles sneaks off between the cars, where he camouflages himself and he begins to web up the cars before they can crash together. Once the train is stopped, Miles hops onto the station platform and Judge yells, "There you are!" Miles tries to stop them all. Yeah, I tried to get back, but I got pushed all the way into the next car. Barbara looks at him suspiciously. So a short while later, over in Prospect Heights, the teens make their way to the Brooklyn Museum, and they begin to look over some of the old writings of some of hip-hop's legendary artists. Barbara grabs Miles from behind, stating that this is really something. Maybe now they can. And as she leans in for a kiss, there's suddenly a crashing sound and the lights go out. Everyone begins to panic, and the curator tells everyone that they need to move outside. Miles sneaks off to put his costume on, and that's when he looks around to see what's going on, when out of nowhere, he sees a blonde man dressed in a pharaoh costume. The man shouts, "Hear me, people of Brooklyn! I have come seeking the Stone of the Gods. Resist and your lives are forfeit. So proclaims the Frost Pharaoh." Miles asks, "The Frost Pharaoh? Seriously?" The Frost Pharaoh fires an icy blast from his staff, barely missing Miles. Miles quickly webs it up, stating that he hates to break it to him, but there weren't a lot of blondes in ancient Egypt. Shortly after putting the hurt on Frost Pharaoh, Miles hurries outside to meet up with Barbara and Judge, stating that that was wild. But I finally found you guys. What happened back there? Barbara folds her arms, and she suspiciously says, "Spider-Man happened." Judge then says, "Yeah, they're going to be cleaning this place up for a bit. Maybe we should just go to the movies instead." So a block away, the three go into the movies, and Miles finally gets the chance to kiss Barbara without interruption. But sure enough, his phone buzzes with a message from Genki. Barbara stares and Judge asks, "Really? Is he some sort of barbarian?" As Miles reads the message out loud, he says that they need to go. Dutcher is onto them. So a short while later, Dutcher is storming through the halls, banging on Miles' room, yelling, "Miles Morales!" He waits for a moment without getting an answer and then smiles to himself. "Just as I thought." Just then, Miles weakly says that it's open. He didn't hear him knocking. He's been sick all day. So when Saturday comes, Miles is able to finally relax in his own bed at home, where he writes about his day in his journal. And as he finishes the last bit, he sneezes. And he realizes that maybe he really is getting sick. After recovering from his cold, the next day, Miles goes out on patrol when he hears gunshots coming from somewhere in the city. He heads towards the source of the sounds, and a man points in the direction stating that it's just down there. It's these damn gangbangers again. Someone outside of the crew are moving in on the Golden Lords. Straight up war. They're gonna hurt some kids. Miles tells him, "Not today, they're not." And he jumps over to the next building, where he can see several well-dressed people shooting at several people dressed in gold. Miles camouflages himself, jumping into the group of well-dressed men and begins taking them out and webbing them up. But as he is finishing, his spider senses begin to go off and members of the Golden Lords begin to open fire on him. He jumps through, dodging the bullets, asking, "Really? I just saved you. Should have ran when you had the chance." And after a quick punch and a web shot here and there, the Golden Lords are subdued themselves. Before the cops can come, Miles has a question. "What was your beef about?" One of the Lords asks if he's new or something. These guys are a part of Tombstone's crew. Came down from Harlem trying to take over. One of Tombstone's men says that it's more than trying. Brooklyn belongs to Tombstone now. Miles grabs a hold of the man asking, "All right, where's Tombstone? And don't make me ask twice." As sirens can be heard, the man tells him that he isn't saying a word and the cops are on their way. So get your damn hands off him. The next day at school, Miles and Barbara decide to meet up for lunch. But as they're talking, Barbara begins to become visibly nervous. She asks if there's anything he's hiding, something big. Miles panics for a moment, telling her, "No, absolutely not. What kind of secret could I be hiding?" She then tells him, "Look, if you can't be honest with me, then maybe we need to sit down and rethink a few things." So a short while later in the chemistry lab, Miles sulks while Genki gets to work making Miles his web fluid to put into the centrifuge. Miles says that a please would be nice, and Genki asks if he forgot where the webbing comes from. They're using his borrowed lab slot, using chemicals he got a hold of. Show some respect, Miles. Miles stops himself. "You're right, my bad. I know that all of this couldn't be possible without your help." Just then, there's a knock at the door and a student walks in asking what is going on in here. And Genki sighs. "Hi, Sean." As Sean walks over, he says that he heard someone was in here. They know that the chemicals have been missing from the lab, right? They overheard Dutcher stating that there are some less fortunate kids that might be stealing them to make drugs. Crazy, right? Genki tells him that they're just working on a new polymer. So if he could, Sean points to Miles and asks, "Okay, well, who's this, Genki?" And Genki tells him, "Miles, this is Sean." Miles says, "No, I remember who Sean is. We had gym freshman year. Sean would always pick on the other kids in there." The two stop, they lock eyes. And Sean backs up, telling him, "Ooh, I'm scared. Lucky I don't feel like getting suspended for fighting. You better watch your back, tough guy." Miles shakes his fist and Genki tells him to chill. What are you gonna do? Spider punch a high schooler? So later that night on patrol, Miles sits around working on his journal when he hears a loud explosion off in the distance. He quickly swings over to the Brooklyn Motor Clubhouse and he sees the building burning, and down below, more of Tombstone's men are attacking. Miles comes crashing down on the shooters, telling them, I don't like the Bloody Machete crew either, so let's start with the name. What you're doing is sick, and I would be a trash Spider-Man if I just let you." Suddenly, his spider sense goes crazy as a blast of fire shoots out. A man in a mechanical suit walks in with a flamethrower, and Miles looks at the man inside, telling him, "Hey, I remember you. You're one of Tombstone's buddies, right?" The man fires another blast, telling him that he's Tombstone's lieutenant. Miles quickly rolls over, grabbing a pipe, smacking it down on the lieutenant's arm, destroying the flamethrower, and then he tears off the helmet, telling him, "We both know that there's no good barbecue in New York." Once everyone is webbed up, Miles tells him, "Okay, I know that Tombstone is flexing, but this needs to stop. Where is Tombstone now?" The lieutenant tells him that he ain't saying nothing. So Miles hops down and looks through some of the thugs' pockets, telling them that he knows that the higher-ups use self-scrubbing phones. But the lackeys? There's always one who keeps location services on. So after looking through one of the thugs' geolocation, Miles swings off, stating, "Hey, I'm gonna say hi to your boss for you." And a short while later, Miles reaches the location that was on the thug's phone, but it's less of a safe house and more of a junkyard. He jumps in, taking out the front guards, and then he sees that at this exact moment, there's a drug deal going down inside. So what's the best way to crash it than to ride a junk car right through the middle of it? After webbing up the men, Miles tells one of them that he has a few questions. And that's when a flapping sound can be heard. The thug gets up and starts running away, shouting, "Oh God, it's her! She found us again! Don't let her kill me!" Miles watches as the man skitters away, asking what is that all about? And he looks back to see a young girl with large wings holding the two men, stating, "I'm here for Tombstone and you can call me Starling." Miles stops. Hey, what's up? Starling stops him, telling him, "Tombstone cleared out already. Where is he?" The fools don't seem to know, no matter the beating I put on them. Miles tries to speak up again, but Starling tells him that he's wearing a costume, which means that he must be one of Tombstone's special boys. Guess I'm gonna make you talk. She begins to shoot at Miles, but before he even has a chance to react, she spins back, punching into Miles' back, asking, "Where is Tombstone?" He yells, "Are you crazy? I don't work for Tombstone. I don't even know where he is." Starling then says, "Oh, that's the wrong answer." And she releases Miles in midair. As he is screaming and plummeting to the ground, he starts to fire web lines to the back of Starling's wings, shouting, "We're not done yet!" And they both come crashing down into a pile of tires. As they get up, Miles asks, "Are you okay?" She brushes herself off, telling him, "Yeah. Guess you really wouldn't ask me that, though, if you worked for Tombstone." Miles stops. "Doesn't being Spider-Man give it away?" And Starling asks, "Wait, there's more than one? I just came here from Detroit, new to town. Been hunting Tombstone for a bit." Miles looks back at some of the thugs, seeing their injuries, asking, "You're doing all of this on purpose?" Starling scoffs, telling him, "Oh, you're damn right. They're lucky I didn't kill them. And if you think that's bad, just wait until I get a hold of Tombstone." Miles yells, "Hey, we can take Tombstone down, but not like this. This guy hardly has a face left." Starling smiles. "Oh, I get it. You have a soft heart. It's kinda cute." She then gets ready to take off, telling him, "I'm gonna go ahead and follow another lead. We can exchange numbers and keep in touch if anything comes up. See you later, Mr. Secretive." A few days later at school, Miles gets ready to head home when Barbara stops him, asking if they can talk for a moment. Miles rushes over, telling her, "Of course we can. What's up?" She sits down and she states that she really doesn't like secrets and he's keeping a big one. Is he really going to be like this? She can't ride with someone who's lying. She's given him a chance to tell her the truth. He knows that she will keep any secret between them. Miles doesn't respond, and Barbara gets up stating, "Yeah, I thought so. Have a good day, Miles." He sulks, getting a message from Starling telling him to meet her at Brooklyn Heights. He arrives early, looking up at the tall building, asking, "So is that Tombstone's setup? He's living large." Starling asks if he always talks to himself when he's doing the Spider-Man thing. Either way, they're gonna get real loud in a minute. Tombstone dies tonight. Miles stops her. Hey, no one needs to die tonight. We're just gonna take this one step at a time. How are we going to approach?" And he quickly follows Starling to the roof, where she's already fighting several armed men, shouting, "Where is Tombstone? Maybe if I dropped one of you from the building, you would know." Miles jumps into the fight, taking the guys down without hurting them, stating, "We don't have to kill these people." But before long, Tombstone kicks down the door to the roof, holding a large two-handed minigun, asking, "Oh, were you looking for me?" Starling rockets straight at him, but Tombstone begins to shoot at her wings, causing her to fall. Miles rushes over to help, but Starling tells him to just get over to Tombstone. Tombstone spins around, taking aim at Miles, but he begins shooting his own people. The hired thugs begin to escape, and Miles camouflages himself, sneaking up, stating, "All right, give it up." But Tombstone thrusts the back of the gun into Miles' stomach, telling him, "Oh, I don't need to see what you are." Miles groans, falling to the ground, and then he webs up the minigun, stating, "And we're done playing with that. In fact, we're gonna skip everything else and go straight to the Venom Blast." As Miles charges up, Starling swoops in, taking Tombstone into the sky. Miles webs onto her feet, asking, "What are you doing? We can't do it like this." Starling sighs, stating, "Oh, you're such a softie. Not gonna lie, though, it's pretty cute." Tombstone tells them both, "You better kill me, or I'm gonna kill you." Starling releases her grip on Tombstone. As he falls, Miles wraps himself up with Tombstone, stating, "If you're gonna let Tombstone die, then you're gonna have to let an innocent man die as well. Please, save us?" Starling grinds her teeth. "Damn you!" She flies down, catching them and placing them gently on the ground. A short amount of time passes, and Miles sits with Starling as the cops arrive, and he says that Starling is a cool code name. But who is she anyway? Starling says that her actual name is Tiana Toombs. She's Adrian Toombs' granddaughter. You might know him as the Vulture, and he was the one who designed her suit. But what's his story? Miles tells her that he's from Brooklyn. One day he got spider powers, and he had to step up. Starling asks, "And you're not going to tell me your name?" Guys are always afraid to open up. "My grandpa used to say having secret identities made you vulnerable." So the two get up, and Miles asks, "Is this goodbye? Are you heading back to Detroit?" And Starling says, "Nah. Too many bad memories over there. Grandpa's got a place on Bay Ridge that he isn't using." So Miles tells her, "Yeah, well, if you ever need a guide or something, you can always call me." And Starling stops him. "I don't even know your name. Anyway, I'll see you later, Spider-Man." As Miles heads home, he pulls a folder out of his costume, something he picked up while at the penthouse. There was nothing crazy on it, but there was one thing that caused some concern. And there's only one person that can give him answers. His Uncle Aaron. And that concludes issues 4, 5, and 6 of the new Miles Morales storyline. Now, this combined with our first episode brings the conclusion of Volume 1. So if you want more Miles at this point, let me know. There's quite a few issues of this current direction with Miles. This is the current storyline that is currently playing out. I know current storyline currently playing out. I said them both. But either way, this is the stuff that is happening right now. We can also do Spider-Verse 3, which is very Miles-centric. I wanted to do that one as well. Kind of get you guys caught up on a lot of Miles knowledge leading up to his video game release. I don't know about you guys, but I'm stupidly excited for another Spider-Man game. And if it has Miles in it, oh, it's going to be awesome. Because I love Peter Parker. He's still my favorite, but we got a whole game about him. Why don't we expand the Spider-Man universe and go into other characters? Could you picture we get our Miles game, and then we get Spider-Man 2, and then we get like a Spider-Gwen game, and we just start expanding the universe? I would be so excited about that. Either way, guys, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want more Spider-Man videos. Don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you want more Miles-centric videos. And go to our Patreon to get early access to all of our products. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.